This is Hannah. We're going to be doing some yoga today. So put on some comfy clothes, and you might need a block or a sturdy book. But if you're ready, let's get started down on our backs today. First, let's hug those knees into the chest. Put some length in the spine. Feel your lower back becoming flush with the mat. Maybe take a couple of rocks here side to side. See how that feels. And when you're ready, go ahead. You can bring your feet to the mat, bring them mat width apart, and let your knees support each other. And you can stay here, or maybe extend your legs onto the mat, coming into corpse pose. Snuggle your shoulder blades under your ears, or under your chest. And take a couple of deep breaths here. Breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Just kind of settle onto your mat. Make any adjustments that are needed for you to be comfortable. Maybe take a good morning stretch. Leaning side to side, stretching out that side body. And back into corpse pose. Deep breaths here. And we're going to just let everything else float away. We're going to focus on this moment right here, right now. Let's leave all the stresses and worries, let's leave those outside of this room. Hopefully you're able to, so you can have an hour of self-care. I've heard the analogy or the explanation about self-care like pouring water into a glass. You can pour, pour, pour. But if the glass is moving side to side, tipping over, giving a little bit here, giving a little to this person, a little to that person, it's going to take a while for it to get full. But if you're pouring into the glass, that's if the glass is already full and you're just tipping over, giving to everyone. Well, eventually the glass is going to be empty. But if you steadily pour into the glass, then you'll have more to pour out onto others. Hopefully that makes sense. So that's what we're doing right here today, is working on our self-care. We're going to do some good stretchy moves today. So go ahead and say your intentions for the practice. It can be a focus word or an I am statement. Just something that you can use throughout the practice to kind of ground yourself to the mat. Ground yourself in the moment. Maybe something like the word peace or patient. Or maybe just say a silent prayer. And start to slow down your thoughts and your prayers. Let's go back to our deep belly breathing. And you want to feel the belly like a balloon on the inhale. So really stretch it out. Fill those lungs. And on the exhale, completely empty. So let's take a good morning stretch by bringing your toes together. Point the toes. Reach the arms behind you. Reaching out at opposite ends with an inhale. And exhale. Release that. We're going to do that 2 more times. But there's no rush here, so kind of just hang out for a minute. Relax. See if you feel vulnerable by having your arms up above your head, with your belly and your heart space exposed. So let's inhale and stretch, point the toes. Hold the breath. And release. And inhale, point and stretch. And exhale, release. Bring your arms down by your sides. Let's hug that right knee into the chest. Give it a squeeze. And take your ankle in some circles. Take your time here. Really point the toes, stretch the top of the foot, and then flex the feet, the foot. Bring the toes back toward your face. And reverse. And give your knee a squeeze and send it onto the mat. Let's hug in the left knee. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And take your ankle in some circles. And let's remember that the speed of our movements reflects the speed of our thoughts. So let's try to slow things down today so we can have a clear mind and reverse that. Let's hug the right knee in to meet the left. Squeeze those knees in. Put some length in your spine. And let's take a happy baby pose. So spread the knees, reach for your ankles, maybe your big toes with your peace fingers, or maybe even the outer edges of your feet. And let's open up your hips, bringing your knees back towards your heart space. And you can stretch one leg out at a time here. Maybe roll side to side, see how that feels, kidney to kidney. Feel free to play around. Remember, this is your practice. You can do as much or as little as you want. I've once heard that yoga is like a buffet. You take what you want and leave the rest. One thing that we focus on in yoga is non-greediness, not being greedy, only taking what you need. So if something doesn't work for you, if you're not feeling a pose, you can skip it, maybe take a child's pose. It's completely up to you. And let's bring those knees in. Give them a squeeze. And let's bring the hands out to a T, palms down. We're going to lower the knees to the right. First, let's pull that belly button in. Let's keep it tucked. And lower your knees down to the right until they're hovering above the floor. And hold here. Inhale back to the center. And let's lower them down to the left. Slow and steady movements here. Inhale back to the center. Exhale to the right. Deep belly breathing. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. Neck is loose, there's no tension there. Face is soft. Inhale, back up. We'll do one more round, so exhale down to the right. Inhale, center, and exhale to the left. Inhale, center, and let's bring our feet to the mat width apart. And we'll windshield wiper here. So just lower your knees to the right. For a little more, you can rest your right foot on top of your left thigh. Deep breaths. This will be a good time to practice our Ujjayi breath. That's breathing in and out through the nose and constricting the throat on the exhale. So it's like you're trying to fog up a mirror, but with your mouth closed. And release that right foot. Let's bring our knees back up and lower them down to the left. Option to bring that left foot on top of the right thigh. And maybe just take notice if your mind starts to wander during the practice, which is completely normal. Just take notice of where it wanders. Maybe show yourself some grace, some patience, maybe some understanding. Let's take 2 more Ujjayi breaths here. And release the left foot. Let's bring the knees back to the center. And we'll windshield wiper here a couple of times. Bring the knees side to side if it feels good. And let's roll to our right side and push up. Let's do a seated position. We're going to practice lotus pose today. So let's bring that right foot up and cradle your foot like a baby. We're sitting up nice and tall. And start to rock side to side. Just kind of opening the hip here, putting some movement there. All right, let's place that foot on top of your left thigh. Both sits bones are making contact with the mat. You may have to, move some stuff around. Make sure both are connected. Spine is straight, nice and tall spine. Let's inhale, circle sweep the arms up. Maybe take your gaze to your hands. And on the exhale, let's lower the right hand down to the mat and reach that left arm over. Maybe your elbow meets the mat, maybe it doesn't. That's awesome. And let's roll that left shoulder blade down the back, opening the chest. And breathe into that left side body. Inhale, lengthen, stretch, reach through those fingers. And exhale, press your left hip down into the mat. Deep breaths. And we want to carry this deep breath with us throughout the entire practice. And let's inhale, windmill that left arm down, press through your right palm, coming back to the center. And let's walk our hands out in front. Option to lower to a block here. Maybe rest your forehead on a block. You should feel a really good stretch in your right hip. Make sure both sits bones are making contact with the mat still. Try to keep your back straight. You can release your chin to your chest. And notice how you feel in this pose. Inhale, look out, and walk your hands back. And let's switch the cross of our legs. And now you can grab your other foot like a baby and rock it side to side. And release that foot on top of your right thigh. And you do have the option of coming, this is half lotus, so if you want to come into full lotus, let's go ahead and bring that right foot on top of the left thigh. So both feet, both bottoms of your feet are facing up. Tall spine, face is soft, maybe a slight smile. And let's inhale, circle, sweep your arms up, take your gaze up. And on the exhale, bring your left hand to the mat, reach through that right hand. Inhale, roll the shoulder blade back. Exhale, press your right hip down into the mat. Shoulders are down away from our ears. We're reaching through those right fingertips. And inhale, windmill that right arm down, press through the left palm, coming back to the center, and walk your hands out in front. Once you've gone as far as you can go, you can round out your bag, bringing your chin to your chest. And go ahead and bring your intentions to your awareness. And let's say it 3 times out loud, like you mean it. And maybe here, bring your hands behind your back and lift your hands up, bringing your forehead to the floor. And bend your elbows, bring your hands out in front and walk your hands back. Release your feet. Let's bring them out in front for staff pose and kind of just shake them out for a minute. Move your feet side to side. Release any of that tension that we just created. Maybe do some ankle circles. All right, let's bend the right knee and place the foot on the outside of the left knee. Both sits bones are still connected. So let's sit up nice and tall, lift the chest, open the heart space. Let's inhale, circle sweep our arms up. And on the exhale, take a twist to the right. Left elbow comes to the right knee. Right hand is back behind you like a kickstand. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And on the exhale, see if you can twist a little deeper. Twisting is super good for detoxing the body and for digestion. of that, let's bring the right foot to the inner thigh. Hips are square to the front. Left foot is flexed, toes are coming back toward the nose. Let's inhale, circle sweep your arms up. And exhale, hinge at your hips, reaching for your foot. Option to use a strap here if you want some more space. Maybe you can't reach your foot and this would be really good for that. Or maybe you're super stretchy and you need to add some space so you can reach for your block. And it's more about getting your chest down to your thigh rather than getting your nose to your knee. If you're hinging at the hips, your nose will actually come past your knee. So maybe let that be the goal today. Hinging at the hips instead of nose to knee. You really want to hug that left leg into the socket, into the hip socket. Take 2 jolly breaths here, breathing in and out through the nose. Inhale, look out, walk your hands back. Let's bring the left hand back behind you. And on the inhale, right hand back behind you. Let's reach that left arm up, lifting the hips, lifting the chest. Reach the left arm back. Breathing here. Be sure to roll that left shoulder open. Give your ears some space. Squeeze your bottom. Bring that belly button in. And release back down. Fold over your knee. And maybe notice if you can go a little deeper this time. And walk your hands back. And let's switch. Let's bring that right leg out. Left foot comes to the inner thigh. Shoulders, let's bring those up, back, and down. Let's do some shoulder shrugs here, some shoulder circles. So inhale, circle them up, and exhale, roll them down. Inhale, circle, and exhale, roll. Let's do one more. And reverse it. And inhale, circle sweep your arms. And exhale, fold over your knee. Slow and steady breaths. Inhaling fully and exhaling completely. Two more ujjayi breaths here. Inhale, look out, walk your hands back. Let's bring the left hand behind the back. And lift the hips and chest, reaching the right arm back. Make sure there's no tension in your neck here. Neck is nice and loose. And exhale the hips down. Let's fold over that right knee. And remember, take notice if you can go any deeper this time. Deep belly breathing. Let's do 2 ujjayi breaths here. And look out, walk your hands back. Let's make our way to our backs again. Hug your knees into your chest and you can roll back if that's comfortable for you. Rock it out side to side. And release your feet to the mat. And we'll do reclined pigeon. So let's bring the right foot up and place it on the left knee. or the left thigh. And you can stay here if this is enough. Or if you want a little more, you can lift that left leg up, interlacing your fingers behind your left thigh. Option to roll side to side here. If you want even more, you can bend your left knee and interlace your fingers around your shin. Or you can just find stillness by staying still. And exhale the left foot down and then the right. And let's switch legs, bringing your left foot to your right knee. And then lift your right leg. And with each exhale, see if you can't get your knees a little closer to your body. And when your mind begins to wander, return to your intention. Remember why you showed up on the mat today. Shoulders are relaxed, face is soft, maybe your eyes are closed or your gaze is soft. And release the right foot and then the left, and we'll take a happy baby pose. So reach for your feet and open up those hips. And once again, you can rock side to side here. Maybe stretch one leg out at a time. And take notice if this pose feels any different than when we did happy baby at the beginning. And exhale, let's bring the knees back together. Squeeze your knees into your chest. And when you're ready, go ahead and extend your legs onto the mat, coming into Shavasana or corpse pose. And you can take some time here to get comfortable. Maybe you have a rolled up blanket, or even if you're lucky enough to have a bolster, or like me, a yoga mat. You can place that under your knees. You can grab a blanket, maybe a pillow, place it under your head. Do whatever it takes. Get nice and comfortable. We're going to be here a few minutes. Let's bring the arms up in cactus arms in 90-degree angles. Snuggle those shoulder blades under your chest, not your ears. And bring your awareness to your heart. It does so much for us every day without even being asked. Let's just show some gratitude for a moment. Go ahead and close down your eyes, and mentally, without moving, relax your toes and ankles, calves and knees, thighs and hips, relax your fingers and wrists, your forearms and upper arms, relax your belly and your lower back, your chest and your shoulders, relax your neck, soften your jaw, let your tongue sink to the bottom. Relax your face and your eyes, the spot between your eyebrows and your scalp. Your entire body's completely relaxed. If your arms are uncomfortable here, you can always bring them down to the sides. Go ahead and think of your intention and say it out loud 3 times. Say it like you believe it. As you may know, Shavasana is one of the most important parts of our yoga practice. It's where we put our bodies back into rest and digest mode. We're telling our bodies, you're safe. There's no need to be in fight or flight mode right now. And on your next inhale, open your mouth and make an audible exhale. Become aware of your fingers and your toes. And to end your practice, maybe say a prayer as you start wiggling your fingers and toes. Maybe take your wrists and ankles in circles, go in both directions. Let's stay balanced. Let's inhale, take a good morning stretch, reaching out at opposite ends. And exhale, let's pull in one knee at a time to the chest. And roll to your right side. And take notice of how you feel after you practice. How you feel mentally and physically. And when you're ready, let's bring that left hand next to your chest and push up. Find a seated position. And this time, instead of the normal cross-legged pose, let's switch it. And let's inhale, circle sweep your arms up. One last time. And on the exhale, lower your hands to your forehead so we can remember to think kind thoughts about others and especially ourselves. Bring them down to your mouth so we can remember to speak kind and encouraging words. And lower them to your heart so we can remember to keep our hearts open and ready to love. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. I hope you enjoyed it. Namaste.